You see the benefit here is you can see where it's just 15 seconds. You don't even have to actually see. Scoot your butt. Stop sitting on the seat. Lay down. Yeah, lay down. What are you doing?
Alright, welcome back to the NuB.
It's Felton.
And today it kind of starts on a sad note.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to talk about the death of George Romero, died at 77, complications from cancer, lung cancer. Honestly, like growing up as a kid, I was huge into the whole zombie B-movie, genre. Like I loved it, absolutely loved it. Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, like all those things were
Mall of the Dead.
Mall of the Dead. They were just fantastic, and George Romero was a big part of those movies. He was he wrote and or directed a good portion of those movies, and they really made up my childhood. It wasn't like today where everything is zombie. There's a TV show called iZombie now, and it's like a bubblegum.
It's kind of bad.
Yeah, it's not that great. Foxtail is kind of addicted to it. She likes it, but it's I guess it's kind of funny and cutesy or whatever. But like I grew up on the gory, just horrible acting, terrible zombie movies, and George Romero was like the king of those things. So for him to pass, I mean, that's like a big part of my childhood. I put him up there. I know some people may be like, "Oh my God, what the hell?" But I put him up there with like David Bowie's passing for me. Like those are two very big, big passings for me recently. So I don't know. It's sad for me to think that somebody who brought so much joy to my life as a kid is now gone. But we mourn the passing of George Romero here at the NuB. Hopefully by next podcast, we're supposed to have a special guest actress on. I'm not gonna say her name now, just in case it doesn't happen. And I don't think she ever worked with George Romero herself, but she was in those B, movies from the '80s, the B horror movies from the '80s. So I'd really like to talk to her about that kind of stuff.
Quite the resume.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just looking at it, I'm like, holy crap! How do we score this?
Well, it's Bad Taste, the admin Bad Taste who puts all of our movie stuff on the NuB for people to check out. He's the one who's friends with her, and he
cracks me up.
Hooking that up for us next time we cast.
I'd like to have him over sometime because he's pretty funny.
Well, that's the whole point. Hopefully, he'll be here next Tuesday.
Oh, well. Oh, it was him the whole time.
He'll be setting that up and everything. So,
cool.
Yeah, I love the stuff he posts on the NuB.
Well,
so,
I think our volumes are good, so I'm not gonna mess with it.
Okay.
Sorry for all the clicking, folks. I was trying to fix things.
Do it live.
Yeah.
See, that's what it is. Felton is the what do they call it? The
tech guy.
The tech. Well, the producer.
Producer. There we go.
I'm more like the host. You're more like the
I
producer.
want a business card that says that producer.
Yes.
So I was telling you as before, but for you folks listening out there, we can now allegedly take phone calls. I say allegedly because we haven't actually tested it yet. I would like to test it before then. So in a semi live like setup. So maybe at some point, I don't know. We can do like a short.
This week I could just call into you and we could talk.
Oh my God!
Over the phone.
That's genius.
Just test it that way, or we can just test it live.
Well, I was trying to think of I was racking my brain today. I'm at work and I'm thinking who the hell can I call? Like I need to have somebody call to like.
Didn't even think about me. Didn't even heard you. Maybe the guy I actually do the podcast with.
It's like
maybe I should call the Merce. I don't know.
Maybe I should call him. Weird. Yeah, I literally built.
We don't talk on the phone though, so it'd be strange. Like we only text, like straight text. Like
well, it's easier.
I don't think we've ever talked on the phone. Maybe I take that back. Maybe a couple of times, like just like a quick "Hey, I'm here."
Or, where are you guys?
Yeah,
MegaCon is huge.
Have you seen my panties since?
Yeah, I left them in your hotel room.
But yeah, so it's very sad to see George Romero's passing. Good news to me. I don't know how you feel about this.
He left you all of his estate?
Yes, absolutely.
It's amazing. To my number one fan.
It's all a bunch of dried out, like crappy, crackling masks and stuff,
and like
dried up blood,
rooms full of corpses. Whoa!
Oh wait,
that would be a twist.
Yeah, But actually, it'd be twisted. It was like rooms full of unicorns and shit. Like he's just like his entire house is done up in like rainbows and like unicorns and
happiness.
You know what's the not Anne Frank because but
geez.
Lisa Frank.
Lisa Frank.
Lisa
there we
Frank
go.
Thing.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you that story about the Anne Frank thing?
Yes.
I don't know if I told. Did I tell on the podcast? I'm gonna tell it anyways.
Tell it
Just
anyways
told
because it's pretty funny.
I work with a lady who she's really cool. She does a great job, whatever the case may be. And we're sitting there talking one night, and we're talking about like our childhood and things that we were really into. And she brought up how she absolutely loved Anne Frank, and I'm like, cool, I guess. You know, it was a gut wrenching story, but you know,
yeah,
you know, it was interesting to read and stuff like that. She's like, oh yeah, I used to love Anne Frank. I used to love her coloring books, her stickers, her, you know, like Trapper Keepers and stuff like that. I'm like, Anne Frank had Trapper Keepers and coloring books, and she just kept going on and on and on about how, and I just kept getting like more and more like freaked out. Like, who the hell is going to color pictures of Anne Frank's life? Like, that's just messed up.
Sad.
That's horrible.
Hiding in an attic or basement.
And so finally, I'm like, Anne Frank, and she's like, yes, Anne Frank. She was getting pissed because I was just like, why would you like Anne Frank? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, this much at least. Like, why were you that morbid? And finally I was like, Anne Frank, the little girl that fucking hid from the Nazis in her, you know, in like somebody's attic,
in between a wall, in the foot space in between the wall boards,
and then later was taken and killed like in the streets. Like, Anne Frank, and she's like, paused for a second, had that like dumbfounded look on her face. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, Lisa Frank. I was like, you've got to be shitting me, like. So to this day, I still like, I'll give her a hard time. I was like, hey, coloring pictures of Anne Frank.
How are those Anne Frank pictures?
Get you some stickers.
Because you must have been mortified, thinking of like, so
normal, this seemingly
hiding in
person.
The walls, like, you know, fill in the color.
I see her like, you know, 6, 7 years old, like pretending to be Anne Frank, like hiding from the Nazis and shit, like going around. Instead of the floor is lava, like the floor is a gas chamber. Like,
oh my god.
The floor is a gas chamber. Ah!
I mean, I could think of maybe like really racist people would have that as a color.
I guess, but man, I
don't know.
Well, actually, what's funny is that later she did send me a picture. I don't know if it's an actual coloring book or if it's a picture in a coloring book. Maybe it's like a historical figures thing. But it was an Anne Frank picture to be colored.
Color book.
She sent me that in a text. I was like, oh my god.
Like, well, I guess there's something for everything.
So back on track.
Look up Rule 34 Folgers commercial.
What I was going to say is I don't know how you feel about this, but the new Doctor Who has been announced, has been revealed, I guess. Jodie Whittaker is going to be the first female Doctor Who.
Sure.
So I'm pretty excited about that, actually.
Well,
I've been saying
so
for a while
my thing
that they
is,
need to do one.
And I've said this before, and I'll say it again, just because the actress that they cast as Missy, I just think was absolutely phenomenal.
Yes.
I absolutely loved her to death. Like, that woman... oh God, I cannot extol that character enough. She was just fantastic. With that being said, I'm just kind of over everything. I'm not making the show, so they can literally do whatever they want.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And I'll watch it. Like, I have found myself in the position that I can't have an opinion on something like that because I'm not making the show. Like, it's a fan service. People wanted it.
You can't make an opinion on anything anyways without 100 people, like, you know, chastising you or yelling at you. Either way, you know.
Either way, but I'm not
like
trying to be platitudinal.
I'm happy to see it, you know, is still, you know, there's still going to be people like, oh, it needs to be
Well, here's the thing. No matter what you say, you know, I'm happy to see it. I'm not happy to see it. No matter what you say, you're always going to be disappointing the other half. Or you're always going to be in disagreement with the other half. So I kind of look at it as the glass is half full type of thing. I'm happy that there are women out there who feel fulfilled.
Yes.
Like, and there's been many comments that people have said, oh, I'm so happy that there's a strong female lead, you know? And I think this also segues into a greater point, which I think, I don't know, this is more of like as a society, it's something we need to address. But there, you know, we want to talk about the gender wage gap and the pay gap and all these other different things. But when push comes to shove, there are other facets in society where women almost do not exist. Like, I was watching a documentary, and they were not a documentary, I think it was like a TED Talk or something. Yeah. And they were talking about how there are so few female engineers, and a lot of similar positions just typically do not have women in it.
Yeah.
So I feel if something like Doctor Who comes out with a strong female character that could possibly inspire more women to get into, engineering, science, so on and so forth, which I still feel, there have been a lot of excellent female scientists to draw inspiration from.
Yeah.
But there could be more,
Absolutely.
So if it even inspires one little girl, I mean, she grows up to do something great, then I guess it would be worth it.
Yeah.
Why be bitter about that? Why be bitter? I've seen so many.
See, but that's just the comment on society in general. Why be bitter about anything?
Yeah.
Like, why are people so adamant about the stupidest things,
I guess, yeah. I just, maybe it's just getting older. Maybe it's just being more mature.
It goes back to when all these people were blowing up on the full female cast for Ghostbusters.
Or Riri Williams.
Yes.
I still say, I haven't read the comic yet, but I still say, MIT student, genius.
Yeah.
Why? What's wrong with that?
For those who haven't connected the dots, he's talking about the new Iron Man.
Yeah.
So,
rather the new character who is taking on Iron Man persona. Yeah. They're not replacing Tony Stark.
Involved, yeah.
And that's what really irritated me is there are people pushing that false narrative of they're replacing Tony Stark. Ooh.
Well, that was smart on Marvel's part. Like they have not completely revamped these characters, but they haven't retconned these characters and made them female. It's like they have passed the torch on to other characters.
Yeah.
Like the new Hulk is there's still another Hulk, but the new Hulk is Asian. And then things like that.
Didn't what's his name, Rhodey? Didn't Rhodey Dusty, or what's his friend's name?
Oh,
War Machine.
Yeah.
Didn't War Machine run around as Iron Man for a while?
Yeah, a while back. Yeah.
So I don't nobody cared when that happened. They were probably excited about it. Like, oh, I love that character. Well, this is a cool change up.
Yeah, well, I'm excited. I just don't know much about Jodie Whittaker. I looked her up on IMDb, and
I gotta look her up on YouTube because here's the thing: I wasn't sold on Peter Capaldi, and then I looked him up, a bunch of his clips from a show he was in, and I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna be great because he played this show where he was kind of a sarcastic dick.
Yeah.
And it was some politics show, and I'm like, this is gonna be wonderful.
I still liked his Doctor Who. I thought the fact that he had that edge to him. Yeah. It's like, did he kill that guy? Did he do this?
Is he crazy?
Yeah, that whole.
Is he legit crazy?
Yeah,
because there were some moments
edge.
where you were like, and I haven't seen any of the new season.
Yeah, I'm a little behind on that too.
I don't have cable.
I remember the first season though, the very first season, he's looking at his face in the mirror, and now he'd been in 2 Doctor Who projects.
Yeah.
So when he's looking at his face in the mirror, he was just like, where have I seen this face before? I've seen this face before.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wow, that was
What are you trying to tell me?
Yeah.
You're going a bit crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm always excited for a new Doctor Who, anyways. Though, for the most part. I mean, I'm not excited that Capaldi's leaving per se. I'm just excited that I just like the newness of the Doctor because that's kind of the cool part about the character, right? Is that the character can at any time.
Yeah,
really change.
It's a neat little thing they built into the lore of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this: I am not upset that it is a female character.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not upset about the actress because I know nothing about her.
Yeah.
She could be, and I hope that it takes off, and I hope it's the best season they've had so far.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm upset about is that it's not Richard Ayoade. And it's only because I've wanted to see him in that role in the show as the Doctor because I feel like
there's a few people and I mean, there's plenty of time because Doctor can be any age. There's plenty of time for them to tap other talent and stuff
maybe
like that too,
next time.
Yeah.
I feel like oh God, and I'm a fan from him from the Mighty Boosh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean the characters he played. And he was originally Dixon Bainbridge, and then he was one of NuB's wizard friends, right? I'm a fan of the show, and I don't know their names. I'm a bucket of shit, God. But I mean, he
obviously not that big a fan.
Yeah,
so.
But just his delivery for jokes and everything. Oh God, he was just so funny.
Trying to explain the Mighty Boosh to somebody who's never seen it before.
It sounds like you went on an acid trip.
Yeah,
and you're trying to talk about a show that you watched while you were having an acid trip.
Exactly, which is what's so great about the show. All right. There was a new trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3 that came out, and it shows that they're gonna be doing Toy Story in there, which was kind of cool. You got to see like you got to see Sora and Donald and Goofy as like toys. Like
wait a minute, Donald?
Yeah, Donald
Trump.
Yeah, Donald
He's
Trump. He's gonna make. I'm gonna make Kingdom Hearts great again.
I'm gonna make Toy Story great again. It's gonna be huge. Sorry.
It's gonna be huge. Anyways, it looked really good. The gameplay looks fantastic. I've got it up on the NuB
I saw
Facebook page, so check it out if you haven't seen it yet.
That's been like
you have to get through that first couple seconds where they've got words going over the actual gameplay,
I don't know what that
really
was.
Annoying,
that was kind of obnoxious.
Sit through that, and then it gets into the actual
That was kind of obnoxious.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
Can you tell him to fix it?
Yeah, I'm gonna call him up.
Thanks. I appreciate
it. I got
it.
Pixar and Disney and Square all on speed dial, so I'll get that fixed.
Good. Appreciate it. Let's
see. Something extremely exciting for me. So these Avengers movies are coming out where they're going to be doing the Infinity War, right? With
How long is it going to last? How long is it going to last?
I think it's 2 movies. I mean, there's going to be all the other subsequent movies, of course, around it.
Shouldn't it last forever?
Yeah, it should be like
if it's the Infinity War.
The never-ending story.
Sorry, I got puns for days.
I can see that. It's like you're on dad mode today. Catch me off guard too, because I'm like, what? What's going on?
Huh?
So they just released, and this is extremely exciting for me because these are some cool villains. They released that there's gonna be the Black Order in these movies coming up, and what the Black Order is like Thanos' elite guard. These are alien. These are like crazy aliens from other planets. I think there's like 5 or 6 of them, and they're all pretty much badass in their own way. They're all named after stars for the most part. Like there's the dwarf star, and then black hole, I believe, and things like they're all named after like
Beetlejuice.
Things to do with stars. Yeah, Beetlejuice. not constellations. It's not like Sirius and things like that. But but these characters are such badasses. Like when they did the Infinity comic book, they were just amazing. So I can't wait to see these characters played out on the big screen, and they look a lot like they're going to do the character models from the actual comic. So I'm excited about that too.
I'm sitting here, I'm trying to remember, and I'm like, what's the Black Order? Wait a minute, is that like Black Peter? And I'm thinking of that fighting game, and it's Black Adam.
Black Adam, okay. Injustice 2.
Here, I'm like, Black Peter. Why doesn't that sound right? That sounds racist. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with my brain?
Actually, when you think about it, though, back in the day, like comic book companies, that's what they did. They were all racist. Like any black character was black something or another. Yeah. It didn't matter what it was. Like it was Black Lightning, Black Goliath, like all these. It's like, why couldn't you just be Goliath?
I'm just glad Luke Cage was just Luke Cage.
Actually, he was Power Man.
Was he Power Man?
Yeah, he was Power Man. He was part of the whole blaxploitation.
Oh my god, you just blew my mind.
Yeah. He used to have this silk open up shirt.
Yeah, no, I've
tied
seen
down
the pictures.
Kind of at the bottom with he used to have a chain as a belt and bell bottom pants and this stupid tiara on his head and these power wristbands.
I had no idea that Luke Cage was Power Man.
He was cheesy as hell. Yeah, it's the same guy.
Well, just because it looks so different. That just blew my mind.
Well, did you watch the Luke Cage Netflix show?
I got through about half of it. Don't get me wrong, I fucking loved it.
Well,
but I need to finish it.
If you saw when he was in the when he got his powers, when they had him attached to the machine, when he busts out of that, he's got the tiara, he's got these things on because those were the things that were holding him to the machine.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Powers.
Yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was pretty much his power. It was a throwback to his Power Man days. So that was pretty funny.
That's pretty hilarious.
All right, what else is going on? They're gonna make a sequel to Incredibles 2. Excited about that.
They never made a sequel to The Incredibles?
No, this will be the first sequel for it. It picks up right at the end of Incredibles. You remember when that mole man kind of comes out? They call him Underminer.
Yeah.
He comes out of the ground. Well, it starts right off, right there. They're gonna be fighting him right.
I may be beneath you, but no one is beneath me.
Exactly.
God, how do I remember that?
I don't know. It's very strange though. The Star Wars theme park concept art is out now. I think I posted that on the NuB.
Did you share that meme about where it showed the concept art and there's 5 people in the area, and then what it's really going to be like, and it's just everybody's jam packed.
Yeah.
It's just oh my god.
Well, the concept art always makes it look like there's only 2 people in the whole park, and they're
maybe that's on a Wednesday, 10 years after it's out.
20,000 years after it's been open. Okay, so they got that all the way. Did you see War for the Planet of the Apes?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God!
Well, because I didn't see the second one.
I mean, you don't really have to see the second one.
I
but
didn't.
It's fantastic. It's unbelievable. It's great. I love.
I heard that Woody Harrelson was the hero.
Yeah. I guess in a way, I guess it depends on which side of the.
He's the hero in every film he's in, as far as I'm concerned.
But he was amazing as the villain in this movie. Just absolutely amazing. The whole movie was fantastic. I am a huge fan of the Planet of the Apes movies, going back to the old, like 1970 or 60s, was it?
Wasn't there a show?
There was a show. I used to watch the show too, like
Yeah.
on rerun, obviously, because I was too young to watch it originally when it came out. But yeah, I'm talking about like back in the day. Charlton Heston, get your hands off me, you damn dirty apes! Like that whole, loved it. So I watched the Mark Wahlberg one. I watched this whole trilogy, like everything. I've loved all of it.
Now the Mark Wahlberg one got some shit. It caught some shit.
Yeah.
But I feel like they were really trying to be true to the original costumes and concept and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if this is it and they're done kaput, they're not going to do anything else, or
no, they're going to do more.
If they're going to do more, and where they're going to go with it. Like,
I don't know, but they're definitely going to do more.
Are they going to segue into the original style looking apes, or
that's
are
the
they...
whole thing, is that like this trilogy is like the beginning of what happened to lead into the Planet of the Apes. So they've got like hundreds of years in between that
got
they
a lot
can
of
do
evolution
anything they want to
do,
you know?
Mm.
It's like Star Wars. If you like looked at the Knights of the Old Republic stuff to to the new stuff, and so on and so forth. Although none of that stuff's canon anymore, I guess. So
I still am really upset.
Yeah, Andy Serkis, the guy Serkis?
That does everything.
Yeah, that does like every animated creature ever. Did a fantastic job as Caesar, like he always does. Woody Harrelson as the Colonel was.
Did he do the voice too?
Yeah, he does the voice, and they put all the balls on him, stuff like that. So he acts out the
He's a hell of a guy.
Yeah,
just a hell of a talent.
He does a great job.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a mensch. He's a good guy.
Steve Zahn is in this. I don't know if you know who Steve Zahn is, but
I mean, it sounds familiar.
I love this guy. You ever see Daddy Daycare? It's like one of my favorite movies he's in.
And that would
with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
So Steve Zahn is the nerdy guy that they get to help with the kids and stuff like that. He's like huge into Star Trek and the Flash and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, he plays a character in it called Bad Ape, and this character is freaking hilarious. That's what the ape that's what he thinks his name is, because that's all they would say to him, Bad Ape, Bad Ape. So he thinks his name is Bad Ape. He's extremely scared. He wears people's clothing and stuff like that. He's hilarious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you looked him up. Yeah, I love that guy.
He was in the Sierra Adventure.
And then my favorite ape from this trilogy is Rocket. He's the ape. I don't know if you remember from the first. Well, I don't think he's in the first movie. He's in the second movie, but he's this ape who's basically like, he looks like he's on steroids compared to the other apes. Like, he's just huge. And
Jack?
He's just like, he's just like he's the one badass ape. He's like the Bruce Willis of the apes. He's like,
he wears a tank top?
No, but it's like when shit needs to get done, he's the one that's like, well, yippee-ki-yay, like he's the one that goes to get shit done. So I love Rocket. What else? Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. But man, that movie, Amelia Miller is this little girl that's in it. She's kind of a mute. She doesn't really talk. I can't really explain why, because you have to see the movie. But
isn't she immune or something?
I can't tell you any of it. You really have to see the movie.
Well, I thought that was in the trailers. Like, she was immune to the monkey virus.
Has nothing to do with being immune. No.
Oh. Everything to do with being a mute.
Yes, everything to do with being a mute. So absolutely must see that movie. It was fantastic. I loved it.
We have a new trailer.
Oh yeah.
Blade Runner.
Yes, I was getting to that. What'd you think?
I didn't watch it yet. I forgot.
Well then, screw you. Like honestly, just a little bit of prep before the show.
A little bit of prep. Oh, hold on. Nope. Not gonna put it on while you're talking right now.
Yeah. No, the trailer looks fantastic. You get to see what's his name from 30 Seconds to Mars play the Joker.
He's the Jared Leto.
Jared Leto's in it. Yeah. I guess he must be the creator of the actual the android people, whatever you call it. What do you call those people? I forget what they call it.
Replicants?
The replicants. Thank you.
Leto? There's no way, because he died.
Well, I don't know if it's him or not, but he's blind, and he talks like in the trailer. He talks like he has something to do with their creation. So I don't know.
Oh.
But yeah, it looks good, man. It looks fantastic. I can't wait. I've actually got to get Foxtail to watch the first movie because she's never seen it. So.
I don't,
I've actually got to see the first movie because I haven't seen it in probably 10 years. So
I just feel like the first one, there was a lot of controversy over it because it got edited so many times.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want the ending, or there was between the director and Ridley Scott or the writer, they're like, no, we're gonna do this ending because it's happier or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where he's not a replicant, and now like the director's cut where he is a replicant. I guess.
Yeah, but now he's an old man, so
I guess
age, like that's the
well,
thing
here's the thing.
It
depends if they have the longevity.
Yeah, well, they also kept it like up to the watcher at the end of that movie, kind of, right? They didn't really explain what
it just kind of ended, and a lot of it diverged. I got pretty deep into the book.
Yeah.
And I guess my only issue with the book, it jumps around a lot between characters.
Yeah.
And that kind of it's what I kept trailing away from it. So I'd have to like start over chapters before, start over completely. But he's actually married and has a wife and all this stuff in the original book, and it really gets into like the daily mundane parts of the world, like they talk about how there's this thing called a mood organ where they can get in there and dial up whatever emotion they want. Like he comes home and his wife was like being depressed because she like dialed up sadness, and that was such a faux pas. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You need to dial in happiness, and she just kind of wanted to feel something. Apparently, it's like the whole society is just.
It's like you need to dial in sandwich making.
Yeah. That the whole society is just into this degree of control over themselves, and like they go to lengths. Decker goes to lengths about talking about all these replicant animals, and everybody has like this stable on the top of their building where they keep their animals, and some people have real ones and some people have replicant animals, but they just kind of like keep it on the down low, like because if you have a replicant animal, you're like poor as shit. So he's like constantly trying to get a real animal as a pet, but people have like wildlife, like they have hawks and owls and just like basically whatever they can get that's alive.
Yeah.
Because everything's dead.
Yeah. That's crazy. I need to read the book. Well, I need an audiobook is what I need to do.
And to be honest, the guy that does the audiobook isn't terrible.
Yeah.
He's not a bad narrator. It's just sometimes it really was just kind of. I guess I've got other ones where the narrator is more engaged and enthusiastic.
Yeah.
And I have an easier time with the first person narration opposed to, the third person narration.
I get that.
But.
All right, so Netflix has done it again.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the Castlevania anime on Netflix?
I know I saw it pop up. I didn't get a chance to.
It's
check
really
it out
short.
yet.
It's only like 4 or 5 episodes, but it's really done well. It's Warren Ellis, one of my favorite comic book writers, and it's really done well. What's the guy with the whip? The main guy. He's a Belmont or Bell something or other.
Nathaniel Belmont.
I don't know. There's a bunch of people like screaming right now at whatever listening device is right now, but he's like an alcoholic in this because his whole family's been like disenfranchised by the church and such.
Eaten by vampires?
No, they were just disenfranchised by the church. The Dracula's pretty much not necessarily. I mean, he's a bad guy, but you see why he's a bad guy when you see the show, like what they did to him and things like that. And it's got Alucard in it, his son, which is Dracula backwards and. It was done really well. I was very surprised, especially because it's only like 4 or 5 episodes. But
Simon Belmont.
Boom.
Remembered that with my brain.
Yeah, I totally didn't look it up at all.
And not my phone.
No, not at all. What about Spider-Man: Homecoming? Have you seen that?
Yes.
Yes. What did you think?
Did you finally see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank God. All right.
Yeah, I apologize, guys. The reason that the podcast has been off and because. The reason that he asked if I had seen Spider-Man is because I was in California, actually, for my brother's wedding. He got married in California. So I made a little trip out there to San Diego. And the only nerdy thing I did out there, which I'm very disappointed because I really want to go to, they have a couple pubs there where you can play board games and drink. But it was, we were all tied up with the wedding stuff.
We still got to go to the Cloak and Blaster.
Yeah, we do. But the only place I went to that was nerdy at all, really, was we went to Ocean Beach. And in Ocean Beach, there's a little comic book store called Galactic Comics. It's kind of like a.
Do they have a TV show there?
I don't know. I think they have like a.
Is that where Comic Book Man is based out of?
No.
Oh.
No, Comic Book Man is based out of Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash.
Oh.
Because Kevin Smith owns it. Galactic Comics is this little comic book place right on the strip in OB, and it was just packed to the ceiling with comic books and toys and all this stuff. I mean, to the point where it's like kind of claustrophobic, to be quite honest. Like, we are really spoiled here with Famous Faces and Funnies and like VR Comics and stuff like that, where you got a nice open area you can look around, and no, it was definitely claustrophobic. I was like, ooh, okay. They had little like old arcade machines and stuff in there too. It was a cool joint, but it was just too much. But anyways, so that's why he was asking if I'd seen Spider-Man yet. So, Spider-Man: Homecoming. Your thoughts?
It was good.
All right. Well, thank you for that for that
really good.
elaborate.
Really
All right. My thing. I boil it down to this. It was a I would say kind of a flimsy premise with some great acting, if that makes sense at all. Like, let's put it this way: the Vulture's reason for doing his job is not like it was in the comic books. In the comic books, the Vulture's a grandfather to a very sick young lady. Like, his granddaughter is very sick. I think she has cancer, and he's doing all these robberies and things like that because he's paying for her treatments and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And it's so he's like, he will kill anybody that gets in the way of him doing that. Yada yada yada. This and anything. Here it's just like he's supporting his family. And it's
so I don't know. So here's the problem I have with that, though. I could watching the whole thing, and I love Michael Keaton.
Oh, well, let's stop for a second, and let's just say Michael Keaton did a fantastic job as Vulture in this. I thought he was amazing.
Yeah, I have a hard time not completely identifying with his character and his motives because I feel like that moment when. I don't know if it's S.H.I.E.L.D. or, who the hell is coming in, like this new...
The collateral damage people.
The collateral damage people.
Damage control, I think is what they're called.
So they come in and they're like, we're coming in and we're taking over the contract. I feel like you can watch the moment that he breaks.
Yeah.
And, gets into that mode of, well, that was just the last frickin' straw. The government finally fucked me one last time.
Yeah.
And... just looking at that and looking at that situation and, the revelation that he comes up with and, I just feel like that whole thing, the whole premise of his character, even just to maintain his family's lifestyle.
Yeah.
I mean, I was totally sold on that.
See, I don't know. See, that's the only problem I had. And the only reason I had a problem with that is because that's what I like about Vulture in the comic books, is that he's like this evil... like, just really despicable character, right? But then you find out that he's doing all these despicable, horrible things
for a reason,
for a good reason, And you start to kind of humanize his character. And I think, they did a good job with that. I don't know why they didn't go with the whole sick. Like, his daughter could have been sick. They could have been, could have been all kinds of different things,
Yeah.
But he still did a fantastic job. I love the relationships in this movie. I don't mean like Peter Parker and whatever the girl. I mean like Peter Parker and Tony Stark, Peter Parker and Happy. Like, those were some of my favorite moments of the movie. Like, when he's trying to call Happy, I'm like, hey, this is going on, and Happy's like, listen, I'm too busy for your crap.
Yeah, like okay, Spider Boy, like know.
I love that stuff. I love the fact that his suit had the hidden little things in it, and they
functions
called
and all this shit.
It was like the training wheel, initiative and things like that. I just loved all that. All that stuff was done.
You like
fantastic.
to activate kill mode? Whoa.
And I love how they never once rehashed his whole origin story. They're basically like, who Spider-Man is.
I thought that I think was the biggest benefit toward the story is that it wasn't an origin story.
Yes.
It was. This is his. I don't know, maybe like a coming of age film almost. Like,
well, I think the title of the film was perfect. Homecoming. Like, he's coming home to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, yes, Sony still owns the rights, but now he is part of the MCU.
Yeah.
He actually got to interact in that. So it was like that whole Homecoming thing. Like, it was perfectly worded, because it's like he's coming home to the MCU, and they really push that because like most of the movie he's interacting with Stark and Happy and things like that, and he wants to be an Avenger and yada yada yada.
And I think too, we didn't have to go rehash any origin stories because you already have all these other characters that are established. And I think that's partially why these movies are working out so well is because they can be like, okay, we're going to have War Machine and Black Widow in this one.
Yeah.
And you can just have time to focus on those characters and really, like, fall in love with them. Like, oh, wow, I really liked, so-and-so in this movie, or...
Well, and you notice, like, when they did the Avengers, there wasn't, like, a backstory for Black Widow. There wasn't a backstory for Hawkeye, There wasn't
there wasn't an origin story for Hulk,
Well, yeah, I mean, because we've seen the movies before, yeah. So Hulk was introduced in the Avengers. The other Avengers obviously had their own standalone movies that had the origin stories and this and the other thing. But like now they're introducing characters, and you're right. Like Black Panther didn't really have to have. I mean, he didn't really get much of a origin story in that either. Like,
yeah, but now
he's getting his own movie now. And
when he gets his own movie,
and now people will be interested to see his origin story. It's not like you're being forced to see it. Now it's like,
well, is this going to be a sequel or a prequel?
I don't. It might cover both. I don't know. It might like cover before his the Civil War.
Well, they'll cover it with flashbacks.
Yeah.
They'll like have some defining moment that they'll show like the assassination of his father.
Yeah. And
how he got the suit as flashbacks throughout the film.
Exactly. But I'm excited for that movie because Black Panther is one of my favorite Marvel characters because he is a humongous asshole. Like and they kind of played into it a little bit in Civil War, but I really hope they get into it, like because I guess I shouldn't say asshole. He's just very arrogant because he's a king.
Yeah.
I mean, he's richer than Tony Stark, and he runs a country that owns the vibranium stores, in the Marvel universe.
Didn't he have a vibranium suit?
Yeah, his whole suit is vibranium. Exactly. Like his whole suit is pure vibranium.
So he's a better Iron Man.
Exactly. Pretty much. No, dead serious. Like, like in the comic books, he can actually like go out in space in a suit and everything like that. Like it's ridiculous, but. He's extremely intelligent. He's like one of the most intelligent people in the Marvel universe. And he's just he's like the Batman of the Marvel universe.
Well, he was one of my favorite characters in the film.
Yeah. Oh, in the film.
I mean, just because it just was out of nowhere. Oh, by the way, Black Panther's awesome. Like, what?
Yeah. Don't mind me while I go running like straight running.
Don't mind me while I get the bad guy at the end of the movie. While you're all douching it out. Like.
But yeah, I thought that was great. There's a ton of Easter eggs in this movie in Homecoming. Ton of Easter eggs. Like for instance, one of the characters' name is Cindy, and from what I can gather, Cindy is a character in the Marvel universe who is actually Silk. She's one of the new
Silk Spectre?
No, just Silk in general. Oh. No, Silk Spectre's Watchmen. But but Cindy is a character named Silk, and basically like. What it is she was bit by the same spider that Peter was bitten by. Like this is like one of those like.
Was she the one with the hood?
Yes. No. That's Gwen. That's Gwen Stacy. That's Spider Gwen.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, but
because I'm stupid.
I think that Gwen Stacy was in this too. Actually, like towards the end, like she's hugging that blonde chick, and I don't know who that was. I don't know if that was Gwen Stacy or not. Not that they're going to introduce these characters.
They did the whole Gwen Stacy thing. Let's get over it. Yeah.
Well, the Gwen Stacy in the Marvel universe now, who's Spider-Gwen, is actually from an alternate universe. Like
she came from a different universe.
Peter Parker died instead of her.
Yeah, no, they met up in there.
Yeah. So, let's see. Marissa Tomei was absolutely hilarious in this movie. I thought. Yeah. Because she's like so oblivious to all these guys hitting on her and being into her and stuff like that. I thought that was cute. It was adorable.
It was
a great little touch. Like this movie had these great moments, and then the fact Marvel has got it down, man, when it comes to these previews. Like the bank robbery thing was totally different from the actual preview, and that was great. Because you'd seen that preview like what 20 times before you saw the movie. And he's always like, "Oh, you guys aren't the Avengers. Oh, Hulk gives it away." None of that's in the movie. Like it's a totally different direction, and it was still funny, and it was still exciting, and there was all this like cool stuff going on. So,
well, I like how they're throwing that off, and I think one thing they're getting down. I think we ought to talk about the controversy of the film for a second.
What was the controversy?
Oh, you haven't seen the controversy? There are people complaining about saying that there was this forced diversity in the cast. Because they changed the race of some characters and changed his love interest is different and this, that, and the other.
I understand that. Here's my thing though. That's Marvel's. I think that's their thing right now. Like that's like all throughout the entire company. That's their thing. Is
bottom
diversity.
line, 100%. They have this down pat.
Mm-hmm.
Not a single Tolkien. Yeah. Not a single token
JK,
character. Not a single token character.
Yeah. I didn't see
everyone. Their characters
one
flowed
dead king.
naturally.
I didn't see a hobbit. I didn't see a single
Exactly.
elf.
There were no ring wraiths. Yeah. Okay. I blew it.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, though.
Yeah. No, I know.
Everybody's character felt natural.
Yeah.
Everybody's character was just who
on.
they were.
Yeah.
And like Flash, oh my God, he was fucking hilarious.
He was a complete dick, like he should be.
Oh my God! And again, isn't he classically like a blonde white guy?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Everything just fit.
I have to applaud Marvel because they're doing this kind of thing, because of the simple fact that, when Marvel was first introduced, just like when DC was first introduced, putting black characters or Hispanic characters or Indian characters or any other character, as a forefront character in a comic book was unheard of, because the readers wouldn't have read it, or it would have been people have been up in arms. So for them to get this diversity, and it started, in my opinion, back when they did when they started with the Ultimates series for Marvel. And they came out with the Ultimates, which were like it was another universe's version of the Avengers, and their Nick Fury was black, and he looked just like Samuel Jackson. And this was before the Avengers movie, or before any of those movies. I think Iron Man's the first one that introduces Nick Fury.
Yeah,
it was before that ever even happened. So then when that happened, it was like, oh my God, like they must have talked Sam Jackson into playing it, because I mean the character's drawn just like Sam Jackson. He looks just like Sam
probably
Jackson.
Drew it to be Sam Jackson.
Well, that's the thing. But then they actually got Sam Jackson to play, the actual character. So that was probably, I want to say, like mid 2000s. When they started doing that, they started making that move towards, okay, we're going to start introducing these characters, a little differently, than what we've seen before. Some of the characters became gay and this and the other thing, and and then all of a sudden they moved that into their mainstream. Like that was like they're testing the waters, and they were able to move that into their mainstream. And I'm very proud of a business like Marvel to do something like that, because that's it may not seem that way now, but at the time, even in the early mid 2000s, that was a big leap.
Yeah,
to say, hey, listen,
big chance to take for them.
Yeah, we're gonna step out on a limb here, and we're going to start diversifying our cast of characters, and that was.
I just applaud them how they did it.
Yeah.
Because watching the film, it all just flew together so naturally for me, and I feel like, the body of students is representative of what a real body of students would be,
especially in New York.
Yeah,
because that's where it takes place.
Exactly.
It takes place in Brooklyn, New York.
That's the thing that
Brooklyn, New York, it's not going to be a bunch of white people.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just not.
Everything fits so great, and I think they kind of respected the demographic. You know what I mean? Like, and even his little interaction with the sandwich shop guy. That scene was hilarious.
That. Yes,
that scene was hilarious. Like,
it seemed natural. It seems like you could tell that Peter Parker has lived in this neighborhood his entire life.
Yes,
this is the joint he goes to. After he
sandwich
gets,
place.
After he gets out of school, they have their little interaction. He lives in this neighborhood. Like it was organic. It was very organic.
That's
what I'm saying. This movie, this is what DC needs to basically say. Hey, Marvel, will you make our next movie for us? Because this is how a comic book movie should be made.
Will you make Aquaman for us?
Yeah, this is how a comic book movie should be made. Let's be honest. I mean, like, it feels natural. Doesn't feel painted on. It felt good. It felt good. I mean, like I said, the premise for me was a little weak. But the acting and the way that everybody interacted with each other was fantastic.
The scenes with Michael Keaton, though, just where it was just one-on-one between them.
Yes,
I love.
When he's in the car and he pulls the gun out, and he's like, basically, you got a choice.
Yeah,
you can go in there and have a good time with my daughter, or I'm going to kill you.
Yeah,
and then like that whole scene was just it was tense. It was interesting. He's like, and you could kind of see like, I am a bad guy.
Yeah,
but I'm a bad guy.
He was telling
I'm a bad guy for what I think are the right reasons.
Yeah, but I also think too that was an interesting. He was definitely making a power move right there, because he was saying, listen, I get it. You're a kid. You like my daughter. Mm-hmm. You want to go and be a kid.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go be a kid.
But if you want to infringe in my business, then I'm going to show you no quarter.
Exactly.
And
and the cool thing there too, like he also was kind of saying that same scene, like the reason I'm even giving you this choice is because you saved my daughter.
Yeah.
You saved my daughter. I'm giving you this option, and then he does it again. You watch the end credits, right? Mm. He kind of does the same thing again. When Scorpion, that's the guy, who's he approaches him and he's like, hey, I got some people together, you know who he is, right? He's like, yeah, I don't know who he is. He had every opportunity to sell him out.
So, well, maybe saving him for himself, getting revenge.
I don't know if it was like saving him for himself, or I think it was another one of those things where I think he has a certain code.
Well, because he saved him from the explosion.
Exactly. Spider-Man saved his life, so he's like, I'm not going to sell him out. Like he might still go after him himself.
That really plays to me like. He's that working man character.
Yeah.
That just was hilarious to me. Just his whole character I could just identify with.
When he accidentally shoots the shock, when he accidentally kills the shocker, that was hilarious because he kills him. I was like, damn, this guy's savage as hell. And then he's like, I thought this was a stun gun.
Yeah, total mistake. Whoops! Like at that point,
but then he just misses a beat. Then he's like, all right, well now I guess you're the shocker.
At that point, he was in for a penny, in for a pound, and what can you do? No point in crying over, vaporized asshole.
Yeah.
Was that not Tom Hardy? That guy was not. That was not Tom Hardy, right?
Tom Hardy, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember his name. I just call him not Tom Hardy.
Yeah. So moving into the video game realm.
Yeah.
Doomfist coming to Overwatch.
Yep.
Hasn't launched yet, right? He's not.
He's in the PTR right now. Yeah. People are goofing with him.
Yeah.
I guess some of the stuff that he's done I've seen is quite broken.
Yeah.
Like he's a bit OP right now, but they'll probably dial him back a little bit.
He'll
probably come out
same
strong.
With what's her name when she first came
Orisa?
out. Orisa, yeah, she was a bit. And even now, I still kind of feel like she's a bit too much. Like she's got a bit too much.
Well, the concern was some of the combos you could chain with him.
Yeah.
So, he'll probably come out strong and get dialed back a bit. There's still other characters that are just like weak as hell. Yeah. Like McCree is still a bucket of shit. He's slow.
He's your favorite character, right?
His rate of fire is slow.
Yeah.
His damage drop off is dog shit.
Yeah.
And the whole point is him being a precise, close range Widowmaker with the headshots.
Yeah.
And he can't perform that.
Yeah.
And it just drives me nuts. The grenade glitches in so many ways.
Well, I was very sad to find out that he didn't actually get voiced by Terry Crews. Like I thought that was the thing. I thought they were gonna have Terry Crews.
That was kind of a bit of a bit of a throw off because Terry Crews even did like a voice set.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if they're not doing something else. Like they already had Doomfist and his origins and all this stuff because they kind of set it up like this is a town, this where this exhibit is in this like African town.
Yeah.
So they kind of already had set that up.
Or something like that.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if Terry Crews isn't going to voice because here's the thing, they just they threw Anna out of nowhere. Like here's like one day you just popped up like everybody was so excited about Sombra's gonna launch and then by the way here's another healer. So I'm wondering if there's just gonna be another character pop up out of nowhere.
Okay.
And Terry Crews is gonna be the voice.
It's gonna be a really small character too.
Yeah, just really short guy, and they're gonna put his voice up a bunch of octaves, and he's gonna be some type of sneaker character. Zoom in between your legs.
Nice. There's a meme I saw that cracked me about Doomfist too. It's like talking about how he's got a fist that can punch through walls and this and that thing, blah blah blah, and then he uses his left fist for the melee. It's his tiny little left fist.
Boom. Punch.
But I'm excited to see how he plays out. I've been so busy lately. I haven't had a chance to really sit down.
The lunar map is great.
The what?
The new lunar map, the lunar base.
Is that a new one that's been added?
Well, because the moon is like inhabited all by monkeys now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And check that out. It's been. I feel bad. I've been.
There's no monkeys in it, but
I've been so off the grid lately.
Oh God.
And we also need to talk about the death of Joan Lee. I don't think we talked about that last podcast, did we? Stanley's wife.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, she passed away, and that was very.
Well,
sad.
that happened on an off week.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were.
I've been so busy, but I feel really terrible about that. And the worst part about it is that Stan Lee's in his 90s now.
Yeah.
So now that she's passed, it makes me wonder, like, how long is he going to last before he, kicks the bucket? Because usually that's how it goes,
Yeah.
I mean, now he's rich, so it's a different story. Like, usually.
Well, Hugh Hefner.
Yeah, that's true.
He just kicked it.
Yeah. But he's rich, so it's a little different. Like, I know that normally when the female passes in a long-term relationship like that, the male passes because he's not taking care of himself, not doing all those things. But I mean, Stanley's rich, so it's
it seems like he has a crew of people like dedicated to keeping him alive.
Exactly. So
like from what you said, he had a bunch of handlers that were like, "Don't touch him."
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's when I went to.
You'll disturb the shellac we have on his skin.
Exactly. Don't breathe on him. Don't lick him Don't look directly at him. Yeah, he might melt. Oh my god.
God, and we have him propped up like.
But no, yeah. So I really hope. I mean, it's gonna be sad when he passes. It's gonna be
that's gonna be like. I don't mean to say it'll be like a national holiday, but I think like
but, I mean,
what'll happen is there'll be like some type of either official or unofficial, Stan Lee Day.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be one of the biggest, deaths in a while. I mean,
well, that's one of the biggest names in popular culture.
I think it's gonna be like Michael Jackson size.
That's gonna be Michael Jackson size for pop culture.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he is like, he kind of made. I mean, not that I'm discrediting other, comic book companies.
Yeah.
But let's face it. I mean, Spider-Man and all these other comics are really what made comics.
He created some of the most iconic comic book characters of all time. He was the writer for Marvel back when Marvel was in its infancy. So he's what helped usher that whole comic book company into what it is now. And so I mean, he hasn't really had his hand in the cookie jar in a long time, but he's still credited.
He laid the groundwork.
Huh?
He laid the groundwork
exactly.
for it.
And then on top of it, he's so beloved that they want him to be in every one of the movies that they do. They want him to go to all of the events. It
wouldn't surprise me if they just like pre-taped a whole bunch of weird cameos for like the next 30 years, just like a whole bunch of different scenes, so he can still be in
movies for years to come.
Hey, what are you superheroes doing?
Yeah. What are you? And then they badly dub over like hey, Iron Man, what are you doing over there?
Hey, Tony Stark, what are you doing?
Are you Tony Fart? Whatever it was. Oh man, I'd be very sad if he passed, to be quite honest. But I'm sad for him because his wife passed. That's a terrible thing. I'm sure that that probably devastated him pretty badly. But very beloved man. That when he passes, I think it's gonna be a big event. It's gonna be televised. I'm sure there's gonna be all kinds of things. Not when he's actually dying. I'm talking about.
Oh God, that's pretty morbid.
Like that. They're not gonna have a camera like right in his face. Like, are you taking your last breath? Are you taking your last breath?
Is he going? Is he going? And then. Oh, that just got sad.
Yeah, I think we're going to hell now.
So on another video game note,
yes.
I for my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday!
I got. Thank you. I got Friday the 13th.
Yes, how is that?
Absolutely hilarious.
Yes, I want to get it. Hey, real quick, I'm in the PC world again now.
Oh, Master
We have a computer, Foxtail and I have a computer that we got for doing videos and things like that. But
nice.
It's also, it can also be used for gaming.
So my first game, right? I'm going in, I'm trying to run from Jason, hiding in this building. Guess who comes busting through the door?
Jason.
And I'm standing there. I'm like,
actually, so you should have really thrown us for a loop and be like, Freddy.
So I'm standing there. I'm like, well, hey, bro, I'm just in here doing some dubstep dancing. So just don't mind me. I'm not going anywhere. And I just start doing my best to like spin my character around and just like do some like repetitive wackadoo shit. And he stands there. He goes, I'll let you pass for now. And then he backs up and walks out and just goes and chases somebody else. And I'm like, oh shit, I can't believe that worked. And I just take off. I'm like, that was fucking hilarious. So that's fun.
The premise of the game is that you're either Jason or you're the campers, right?
Yes.
And what is, I mean, obviously Jason's trying to kill all the campers.
Yeah.
What are the campers trying to do to win?
Escape.
So, and how do you escape?
Either call the police and get out the exit, get into a car, get out the exit.
Okay.
Get into the boat and get out the exit.
Okay. So you've got several exits to get out of.
Several exits. So
now, do you have to? Now, is it like there's a board game called Last Night on Earth, Do you have in that board game, in order to escape, you have to do things like get gas cans?
Yeah,
Like okay.
yeah, and Jason has to manage all of these things going on. So he has to make sure the power's out to whatever building has the power for the phone.
Yeah.
He has to make sure that he's interrupting them from getting the parts for the boat, interrupting the parts for getting the car. Because I believe you can only escape through the exit, I might be wrong, after you call the police. So you can hoof it on foot. And basically, I mean, in my experience, because I've played Jason 2 times now, if they call the police and you have at least 2 players, you can hoof it on foot and walk right out, and there's nothing the player Jason can do.
Okay.
Excuse me. Because they'll just sit there and whack you with bats. Now, it might be different for...
The police will whack you with bats? Or
No, the players.
Oh, the players will whack you with bats.
Now, it might be different if you have a higher level Jason. I don't know. I have a shit like level 5 Jason.
Okay.
So I guess the higher unlocks you have, the faster he recovers from stuns and more teleports he has and all this shit.
How many campers are there typically?
Oh, I think there's quite a few. I think like 8 or 9.
Oh, wow, that's a lot to manage.
Yeah. Okay. So you got to bounce around, so it's harder while you're new.
But is it easy to kill the campers for them?
Oh, yeah, you just grab them by the neck, and after a couple of sections, if nobody comes, you can strangle them to death and, you know, give them a bear hug and wash the life drain from their eyes. And, you know,
that's
no big deal.
Morbidly beautiful.
On the big game note, I picked up, big boy game note, Player Unknowns Battlegrounds.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you, that is a hell of a thing.
Player Unknowns Battlegrounds?
Yes.
Never even heard of this game.
Oh my god.
Explain this to me.
So basically, it was based off of a mod, I believe. And it branched off, you know, like what normally happens, into its own game.
Yeah.
So you have 100 people getting dropped into a island from an airplane. No equipment. Parachute down, you land, you pick up your gun, and it is a gigantic game of Last Man Standing.
Okay.
I believe it's running off of the Arma engine, and I believe it was based off of DayZ.
Okay.
So it's pretty fluid, you know.
Now, when you die, obviously you don't respawn, right?
No, you're done. The game's over. Okay. So you can spectate. You can spectate, but you can pop right back into another game. So that's a benefit. Or I feel like DayZ and other games like that, you had to wait, and you can respawn with your character, but none of your items, and this you just pop right back to another game and get right back into it.
Okay.
So there's not a high degree of loss.
Yeah.
You know, because you're going to find those items again. Yeah. It just happens where you get lucky, where you drop in. Yeah. Basically. So far, you know, I've had quite a few times where I've popped in and immediately got into a firefight. One time, a guy followed me down with his parachute and started fist fighting with me, and I beat him to death with my fists. Like, I jumped up in the air and did a jump punch in his head, and I got a punch headshot. And I was yelling at him. I'm like, leave me alone, dude. I don't even have a gun. And he just kept coming at me, so I punched him in the face, and he died.
Nice.
But I've got 22 hours in, and I've already won a round.
Oh, nice.
And I've heard quite a few people like that have been playing for way more than me that haven't won. I completely, absolutely got lucky. So what happens and what
you landed
drives
in a stockpile of like rocket launchers?
Yeah, it was great, and just it was auto healing me.
And you were in like in a small wall
silo, and no one could get me. No, what had happened was I had just been running from. What drives the game forward, it's this massive island, kilometers and kilometers across, and there's an exclusionary zone. This, like, unexplained electricity field appears from nowhere and shrinks, and it picks a random spot within that circle, and then it shrinks to there, and shrinks to there, and shrinks to there. So it drives everybody into the same space. Otherwise, you have this giant map, you get down to 2 people.
Oh, so the map slowly closes in.
Yeah, by this giant energy field. Okay. So you have to stay ahead of that, because by the tinier circles, the health drain is insane. Like, you're not going to make it. Yeah. So, barring you, like what I like to do, I'll be driving in a car, and I'll accidentally jump out and kill myself. Yeah. You know, because that's happened like 6 times, and I want to bang my head against the wall every time I frickin' do it. But barring that happening, you're either going to get sniped or, you know, step on a rock and die. Like, sometimes, some wackadoo shits happen.
You'll eat some bad fish and get salmonella or something.
Yeah, exactly. So,
See, I want to make a game like that where it's
I'm
like,
addicted to it.
I want to make a game like that where it's like a shooter and things like that, like a survival game. But then on top of it, like just randomly, just bullcrap happens. Like you get bit by a rat, and all of a sudden you have botulism or
fucking
something.
snake comes out, boom, and you just start going through the stages of poison. Like, oof. But I'm absolutely addicted to it. I love it. I mean, I definitely
This was
see.
what again? It's the
Player Unknowns Battlegrounds.
Okay. And
Now
it's
there's
on Steam,
another
I take
one.
it?
Huh?
On Steam?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's another one, H1Z1 King of the Hill,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of like a very similar thing, I believe, which is based off the H1Z1 game. I think Player Unknown's Battleground was based off that. I'm not sure which way. You know our friend Brad?
I'm drawing a blank, but go ahead. Go ahead. I'm drawing a blank.
I'm trying to think of a better way to describe him. You know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
But he has it, and we were playing.
Okay.
And you can play in teams of 2, or you can play in a squad of 4.
Okay.
So I played a squad game. That was pretty fun. But, dude, we played for just the 2 of us for quite a few hours last Saturday, I think it was.
Okay.
Oh, my God, dude. Or maybe it was Sunday.
That's
this
actually,
weekend.
That's been me and my brother and my cousin with this a free to download game on PlayStation 4 called I can't
Player
remember.
Unknowns Battlegrounds.
Yes, it's Player Unknowns Battlegrounds. Well, it's just what is it? It's a first person Dota.
Yeah.
You know, it's a first. You know, instead of like the top down normal Dota thing, it's a first person Dota. Is basically.
So you're playing Overwatch?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you got your little minions and stuff like that. They're going across. You got to destroy the towers, get back to the enemy's main tower, and destroy that. It's a Dota. That's first person. That's exactly what it is. And I mean, it's enjoyable. It's fun, Like, but I enjoy playing it because I'm playing it with my, with my brother.
Well, it's fun when you're playing with people.
Yeah, exactly. Like you like the Star Wars Battlefronts when you're playing with your friends.
Yeah, when I'm playing with people. Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah. So that's what we've been doing. We've been playing that, and that's been enjoyable. Like I said, I'm in the PC realm again, so I'll be starting to download PC games. I already did download some PC games that because they had that big sale for Steam, and I'm broke right now. But they had a bunch of like I got like Knights of the Old Republic for like $1. Like New Vegas for like $2. Like a bunch of like just really cheap.
Well, now that you say this though, now we can actually do something cool.
Yes.
We can actually play these multiplayer games
online together
and do some creative recording,
Twitch and some streaming and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm definitely down with that.
Because I'm telling you, right? And
we also have to set up at my house to do the podcast there too. So we have another place we can podcast at too. So that would be interesting. We can podcast from like game night and stuff like that.
We can actually have video to the YouTube channel.
Yes, yes. I want to talk about one more thing before we go. I know that we're well over our normal time. It's been a while since we've talked, anyways, on the podcast. So I really, I hope that you guys listening are intrigued and enjoying it and this other thing. And please subscribe, tell your friends, share, blah blah blah.
We both have full-time jobs, so this is
exactly.
This is a lot of work to maintain this.
Mine's almost a double full-time job. Okay. Actually, it's funny because I was doing my prep for the podcast like I normally do, beforehand. I was doing it last night at work, and one of the guys comes over. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm setting up my stuff for the podcast." He's like, "It looks like another job. Like you're just like writing out an entire." Like, I'm like, I mean, yeah, I guess, but it's fun.
It's fun. I like doing it.
Yeah. So, all right, I want to talk about Valerian coming out this Friday. I think it's time for another mandate.
Yep.
So if you're down, we should probably go see that this Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing: it got a 69 on Rotten Tomatoes, but I don't know if I trust Rotten Tomatoes anymore for that kind of thing. So.
Well, didn't they give?
It's Luke Besson who wrote and directed it. Okay, Luke Besson is the guy. He did The Professional, one of my absolute favorite movies. Mm-hmm. Fifth Element, one of my absolute favorite movies. I know that you love Taken. He did Taken.
I like all those movies also.
He did Lucy. He did The Messenger. He did Columbia. He did Transporter. Like he did all those movies, and some better than others, yes.
Sure,
but they're all enjoyable.
I can't consider a single movie that he's done that I didn't enjoy.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever hated one of his films.
I don't think I trust the reviews on there. Now, what they're saying is that visually it's stunning, so we need to go see it in like IMAX 3D. I really think that this is one of those ones you have to see.
Did he do one of the Resident Evils?
I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of. I didn't see that in his IMDb, but so basically, what Valerian is, it's actually a French comic book It's based off a French comic book called Valerian and Laureline, something like that. And what they are is they are agents who go through time and space. Doctor Who.
Inspector Spacetime.
Yeah, and they go around and they fix like problems with the space-time continuum and this and that thing. They're just agents that work for this company that are fixers basically. That's their whole job. This comic book actually started in like the '60s and the last comic came out in like 2010. So that's a pretty long friggin' stretch for a comic book to be going on. I haven't read any of them yet. I plan on picking them up because on Amazon I saw like the first volume 1, like in the graphic is like $30, so I'll probably pick that up. But from what I understand, it's like a big deal in France as far as comic books, and in Europe in general as far as comic books are concerned. But I guess it didn't translate over here for some reason. I mean, it's translated in English here, but
it's probably because of her eyebrows. Her eyebrows.
It could be.
Her eyebrows are darker than her hair color.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
I don't like that.
The problem is.
It bothers me.
But Luc Besson, of course, is French, so he grew up like reading these comic books, and I guess like they.
Didn't he do the Joan of Arc movie?
Yeah, The Messenger.
Yeah. He always has Mila Jovovich in his films.
Yeah, oh yeah, he loves Mila Jovovich.
He
That's
definitely
probably why
did.
you thought he did the Resident Evil movie.
I think he did though.
He might have.
I think he
remember
did.
Seeing it on there, but you can always look in your brain. Not your phone,
I'm going to refer to my memory.
So I think we're gonna have to do a mandate for that movie because I'd really like to see it. I know that Foxtail wants to see it too. So, but it looks like an action-packed Fifth Element basically to me, and I love Fifth Element, so I can't imagine this movie being bad.
I'm gonna see it, and again, like I said earlier, maybe I'm just becoming, as I big sigh, like complacent and just not caring as I get older. But like I find less and less to bitch about with movies and TV show. I am the same.
Okay, way, actually.
I just watched Into the Badlands. I could have had so many complaints on how ridiculous some of the stuff was Into the Badlands.
That show was fantastic.
And I just sat there and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy it. And I watched it, and the only thing was I like Sonny. I like the actor.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, fuck it. You know what?
See, I love the plantation owner. What's his name?
Dougray Scott.
Whatever his character name is, though.
Yeah, whatever. I forget.
I love him. Like, you'll work for me.
Yeah, he's so cocky, and he's the
me?
man, and I don't know. Like I'll watch season 2. I can't bitch about it, because it's like there's a point where
I think AMC is doing great with their movies. They've got of course they got The Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead I think is good. A lot of people are like about it, Preacher's fantastic.
I love Preacher, dude. Oh my god, I fucking love Preacher.
Yes, Preacher's a fantastic show. Did you ever watch Misfits?
Misfits of Science?
No, just Misfits.
No.
It's a British. Okay, this is a show you have to see, especially if you like Preacher. The guy that plays the vampire in that, he plays a character named Rudy in the 3rd or 2nd season of Misfits. But Misfits is a must-see show for everybody. Anybody that's listening right now, look it up. I think it's on Hulu.
Watch Misfits.
Watch Misfits. It is fantastic. So what it is imagine if a group of just degenerate children, degenerate kids, like teenagers and things like that, got superpowers one night, So you got these like just asshole kids, like all of them are in a program kind of like community service kind of program, but it's in England, So they're all in this community service program. They all get powers at the same time one day, while they're serving their thing, and they are just dickholes. Like they just do stupid stuff with their powers, and it's fantastic. And then all of a sudden, they like at the same time, it's one of those shows that all of a sudden will punch you in the gut and make you tear up a little bit, make your eyes sweat as you would say.
Well,
Like,
I don't
it's one of those
cry.
That'll grab you like that. So it goes from being goofy, funny, obnoxious to like, oh my god, I almost like teared up over that. So Misfits is a must see for anybody who just likes good like TV shows in general. Like you don't even have to like superheroes or anything like that. Just good shows in general.
Have you watched Lucifer yet? Have you watched Lucifer yet?
No, I haven't. All right. So, okay, here we go. Homework. I'm going to start watching Lucifer. You're going to start watching The Misfits. Then we're going to meet up and give each other notes.
I have a lot of laundry to fold, so I need a lengthy show.
There you go. That's horrible to do the same thing. God, we're such old men.
I literally folded I don't even know how many piles of laundry while catching up on Preacher. That's how old I am.
Did you get a whole other set of furniture in here?
No, that was
not
in my bedroom.
Not to throw things off a little bit here, but all this furniture was here before?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's been like this for
I'm sitting
weeks,
in
months
Felton's
even.
living room now. This is where we're podcasting from his living room, and
It's less creepy if we have guests. If this is set up in my living room instead of my bedroom.
I kind of like the creepiness of everybody being in the bedroom.
They're like, hey, come in my bedroom. We're gonna record a show.
For some reason, I always had to take my pants off in there. Like I feel like I have to keep my pants off out here.
There is a sign that says no pants. There is a sign that says no pants.
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
But I think on that note, on that pantsless note, you guys listening can picture myself and Felton pantsless now. I think we're going to sign off. We went a little over our time, but that's okay because we needed to. And I hope you guys listen. Please tell your friends. Please tell your family. More to come on our meetup stuff. I'm going to be making phone calls this week. We're going to be getting that stuff in order. Try to get as many guests as possible. This whole, not Foursquare, but was it the
Squarespace?
Squarespace. We need to get on that so we can get this show out to the masses. It's been great talking again. This is the Merce.
This is Felton.
And we will sketch you later.
Bye.
We will sketch you later is what I almost said?
Yeah.
We will sketch you later.
Sketchers.
It's the S.